Hi, my name's Matt. I'm a researcher with the Minke Whale Project, which has been studying dwarf minke whales on the Great Barrier Reef for the past 25 years. It's almost winter on the Great Barrier Reef, and that means the whales are on their way. The two main migratory species we have here in the Great Barrier Reef are dwarf minkies and humpbacks. Now, while humpbacks are regularly seen in many places around the world, sightings of dwarf minkies are much less common. In fact, in the northern Great Barrier Reef, this is the only place we know in the world where predictable sightings occur in the same places from year to year. What's even more special is that these whales are exceptionally inquisitive, and they will approach vessels, divers and snorkelers on the reef and often come close and hang around for hours. So this gives us a unique opportunity to study them, and to do this, researchers in my team have been working closely with tourism operators who carry special permits, allowing researchers to study the whales from in the water right alongside tourists. So the Minke Whale Project is a multidisciplinary group of scientists, students and volunteers studying lots of different aspects, including population biology through photo identification, whale behaviour and acoustics, migration, monitoring of potential impacts, and most recently morphometrics to assess whale health and the development of AI algorithms to help identify and track individual whales. I first started studying dwarf minkies as an undergraduate student more than 20 years ago, and I've grown so attached to these whales that I continued studying them through my PhD and have ever since. The experience of swimming with them and having them approach and examine you with a curiosity that matches our own really is incredibly special, and I can't wait to get out on the water to see them again. Here's a picture I took of a very special whale we named Pavlova for her underwater ballerina-like displays. Now, only a few whales have ever been quite so interactive and approached so closely, so I feel very lucky to have met her. Okay, on to your questions, and it's great to see so much interest, and I think these are really great questions. The first question is from Ava. Hi, Ava. She asks, where do minke whales migrate to? And she adds, I love minke whales, tell me everything. Right, well, I won't be able to tell you everything I know in this short video, but if you're hungry for more information, please visit our website, minkewhaleproject.org, or join our Facebook group, Friends of the Minke Whale Project, and pick the brains of our highly knowledgeable community of supporters. And as for migration, a few years back, with funding support from the Australian Marine Mammal Centre, we deployed a batch of satellite tags on a small group of whales over a couple of seasons. Now, one of the very first tags resulted in the longest track shown here, which showed the whale travelling all the way down to the sub-Antarctic before the tag fell off. Now, we also know there have been sightings along the ice shelf of Antarctica, and this is the first time we've been able to connect the dots that far. The next question is from Kate. She asks, hi Kate, will it ever be possible to snorkel or dive with humpback whales in the Great Barrier Reef, or are they too big to do it safely? Well, I'm afraid I can't answer the first part of that question, as I'm a researcher and not a policymaker. But I think there are some big differences between humpbacks and dwarf minke whales, and I think they would make some important considerations before that kind of decision could be made. First of all, humpbacks are up to 10 times bigger than a dwarf minke, and their behaviour is quite different, so the risks to people are an important consideration. And in some places, humpback whales have injured people who are swimming with them. The other main consideration is the risk to the whales. Now, dwarf minke whales are much more inquisitive and actually initiate encounters with people, while in most cases that I've seen here in the Great Barrier Reef, humpbacks seem to prefer doing their own thing and will sometimes even try to avoid contact with boats and people. In other areas, like Hervey Bay, their behaviour seems a bit different, and they can be inquisitive, but it's not a straightforward issue to consider. The next question is from Juan. Hi Juan. Juan asks, what is one of the coolest things you've learnt about minke whales? Well, for me there are so many things, but probably one of the coolest discoveries was by an acoustic researcher who first described their vocalizations. He called one of them the Star Wars sound, because in all seriousness it's out of this world. A bit like a laser blast from that popular science fiction franchise. If you'd like to hear it, you can go to our website, click on the Experience section, and follow the links to a video that was produced by Channel 7 just a couple of years ago. You won't be disappointed. Okay, the next question is from Alexa. Hi Alexa. Alexa asks, do you tag minkies, and if so, how? Well, we did attach satellite tags to the whales a few years ago to study their migration, and we tried a number of different methods, but the one that worked best was a modified spear gun with a tag on the end, and the tag was attached to their dorsal fin. But we don't need to tag whales to identify individual whales and study their population. They each have highly detailed natural colour patterns with as much variation and individuality as human fingerprints. So we've built up a large photographic archive over the years to identify and track individual whales. Divers and snorkelers who join us on the dive boats are a really big help, and each year they donate tens of thousands of images to our research. But it's a very labour-intensive process to identify and match the whales, which is why we're working with computer scientists at James Cook University to develop an AI that can speed up that process. The final question is from Heather. Hi Heather. She asks, are there any opportunities to volunteer? Yes, but we get lots of applicants each year, and because we have a limited capacity to train and supervise them, we have a merit-based selection process and some minimum requirements for eligibility. There is a lot of work that goes on before and after each field season, and it's not all glamorous. It also helps if you're based in Townsville with us and can contribute regular hours each week. If you're interested, you can email us through the website. That's all from me, folks. Thanks very much for your interest, and I hope to see you out on the reef when travel restrictions have eased. Take care.